Supermarket Sweet.
Thank you.
All your
They're
audience coming over
adorable.
with us.
I love them all intimately. I do.
Anyway, you're looking good, and I'll tell you what I find fascinating about you. You have this great success story, and yet only a matter of 5 years ago, you were on the dole.
Yeah, it's true. I was absolutely penniless, Gloria. And I'd always worked, and I always said, the last thing I will ever do is sign on. And I just had 2 or 3 jobs. I was holding myself together. And in 1 week, all 3 jobs went, and I had this phone bill coming and everything, and I had no money and no job. And I had to go on the dole. And I had to go on income support to pay for the flat I was in. And it all went very wrong. I mean, you know, sometimes you get so low, you can't dig yourself out. And, well, touch wood, it did turn around.
And what came along? Supermarket Sweet?
Supermarket Sweet was the one that actually turned my life around. I actually thought, what am I going to do now, you know?
Amazing. Now, in the old days, were you just desperate to be famous, come what may?
Well, yes. It's a horrible thing to say, but I think that I believe this to be true of performers, and I include you and me and everybody in this. If you want to present, as I did DJing originally, then I was on radio, sort of discos and radio, you have to be a bit of a show-off, and you have to want that. And the only way, if you are a doctor, you would recognise, your talent is recognised if you save patients' lives and if you achieve something. If you are an architect, your recognition is in the structure that is erected. If you are a... Stop it. I heard a woman snigger there. But if you're a presenter, you say, I must be doing all right because I'm a bit famous now. So you must want the fame, otherwise, why would you do the job?
And you love all the adoration that goes with it.
Well, it's quite nice to be loved, isn't it? It's quite nice. It's quite nice. It's quite nice if people like you, think you're OK. I mean, I'm one of those people, I'm very lucky, like you, Gloria. You know, before I was well-known, you'd walk down the street, and if I went out with someone famous, or who was famous, you'd see people nudge, and they go, oh, it's so-and-so. Fortunately, people like you and I, who sort of present, we come into their homes, not acting, but as presenting, they go, oh, it's Dale, hello, how are you, old tart? You know what I mean? I don't call you an old tart. No, I don't mean you. I mean you.
They never know they might. They just go with me, hello, Glow.
Hello, Glow. Oh, you're glowing today, Glow. And it's nice, isn't it? It's nice.
Do you know, nobody ever called me Glow until I came to work in London. It was Larry Grayson who said, how are you, Glow?
Yeah.
And it's been Glow ever since.
Well, you see, I'll do 5 minutes at the curbside on a building site. You know, if they're sort of like saying hello, I'll start unengaged in conversation. I will.
Like going way back again, because your mum was a game show host like ages ago, wasn't she?
Well, first job in telly was on Take Your Pick with Michael Miles when she was box 13, and it was, politically incorrect at the time, a mink bikini. And there she was as a mink bikini in box 13.
Wonderful woman.
Yeah,
she looked gorgeous.
She was, and you only get one mum, yeah.
That's right. I just going to say, very sadly, she committed suicide. Well, how old was she when she did that?
She was 40. And I miss her terribly because, as I say, I mean, you're a mum. And, you know, there's a special relationship between mother and children, and you only get one mum. And I'm just sorry she's not here to see this now.
The success.
She'd have gone, oh, my lad's done all right. You know what I mean?
Did you ever feel any sort of anger or resentment about the fact that, you know, that she did it in that way, that you were left without her?
We always knew she was going to do it. Now, that sounds awful to say, but 99 times out of 100, when someone tries to commit suicide, it is a cry for help. And I remember the doctor saying to me, you know, Dale, Sherry really means to do it, and she gets these depressions. Now, I mean, in hindsight, she could have been taking medication because although it was only the 70s, it was PMT and it was, you know, you take drugs which actually balance you. But they weren't around then. They give you tranquilizers, which made it worse. However, whenever I used to say afterwards, I used to say, how could you attempt such a thing? I say, you know, it's so brave of you to do it. And she'd say, well, no, it's a coward's way out. And she was always very sorry afterwards. If you could got her over that bit when she was really upset, I don't suffer with depression, but I sympathise with people that do because there's no getting away from it.
Well, she'll be very proud of you today anyway. Maybe she's up there keeping an eye on you.
No, she's always there. She's there all the time, Glow. She's
looking over you.
I believe that. I believe that.
Yeah. Yes, I think there's an awful lot in that too. You also have what I would actually love. You have your own makeup artist that travels everywhere with you. So what does she do for you?
No one has ever seen my face except Vicky Voller, and well, it's just that, you know, sometimes I'll tell you why it started. It's absolutely true. When I first did, I'm not going to say which programme, I did a programme, and it was a game show, and I was a guest on a game show, and the makeup artist was dabbing me down on the floor, and she was sort of saying, do you know, she said, it's all very well doing this, she said, but I usually do things like Morse, like proper work, she said. This is just sort of fiddly-dee stuff. She said, yeah, you're all right, go on, off you go. And she'd done half my face and not the other half. So I thought, well, she felt it was beneath her to do a game show, but she took the money anyway. So I thought, hang on a minute, you are what you look like. And this woman, Vicky, knows my face intimately, so she can sort of works wonders. I mean, I'm 63 years old. Is she a miracle worker or what? I mean, this woman knows her stuff.
Just going back to the other half, obviously you travel around so much and go into people's homes. You must have seen a thing or two there.
Well, it's very funny, actually, because you see people's homes, you wonder what... Well, two things. First of all, when we go around to recce it, first of all, we say, leave it as it is. We want it mess and all. When we go around 3 weeks later to film the programme, they've tied it up. Mother's been in and done it all. But the other thing was, I'm kitchen mad. Kitchens are like... I don't know what you're like, but I live in my kitchen. If you invited me round for a cup of tea and you say to me, sit in the sitting room, Dale, I go, can we stay in the kitchen? Because that's what I'm like. Kitchens are what tells you a lot about a person.
Well, there you go. So obviously looking forward to the series and all of that. But what exactly is going to be happening in the future? How do you see your own career progressing?
There's no strategy at all. It's very weird. I think it's what you turn down rather than what you agree to do. And there are some shows I've said no to which proved, touch wood, right not to do. I'm very lucky to still be working at this age because I came to it very late, and to have this success is wonderful. So I bumble along, and like this year I'm doing a chat show, a Christmas special, 13 lotteries.
That'll
Sweet.
keep you going, won't it?
That'll keep me going. But they say to you, would you sign up for another 2 years? And I never do. I say, let next year take care of itself. I'm very lucky to be here so far. Please, God, they want me next year.
And just very quickly, all this weight you've lost, my goodness, even your face, you've lost a lot, haven't you?
In fact, it'll be Switzerland at Christmas. It's all going to be done like this.
No, you're going to have face done.
I will. If not this year, I mean, I'm serious. If not this year, then next year, because it's all dropped. So I'm going to have it all done. I told you, it's terrible. Vague.
I remember Barbara Cartland saying one day, you know, darling, once you pass a certain age, you have to decide whether you want a figure or a face, because quite frankly, you can't have both.
She's right.
Now, somewhere in the middle, there's a bit of truth there, you know?
I believe that. No, I mean, if the time comes, I would have it done, because, I mean, why not? I mean, you know, I've been broke, I've had no money, I can now wear slim clothes. Why not go for it? If I've, you know, I've earned, what do you work for? You know, why not?
Did you just stop eating?
I lost 3 stone in 4 months. I just said, that's it, it stops now.
And how's your love life now that you've lost 3 stone? Is that good?
You look, well, put it this way. Optimistic of London is how I feel. For the first time in my life, I'm quite happy to entertain someone in my bedroom with the lights on. But I have no takers. Please ring Gloria. She's got all my numbers.
Will you give me 10%?
I'll give you of what?
Maybe the stuff you've lost.
I want the full 100%. I want... You're a darling, you are.
Thank you very much indeed. Stay with us, anyone that's a tea. But for the moment, Dale Winton.